Hi guys, it's Katy here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, I want to start by saying, oh my god, it's hot. Like, it's so hot that my phone overheated when I tried to film this video. So my sorry ass put it into the fridge so I could film this video because I really want to film it. So today we're gonna be saving those two set queens that you see here. I ordered these from QUEENS and they arrived at the beginning of May. And they looked super good. This is another one that came the same batch, but as you can see, this one is doing much better because it is pushing out a new leaf and it has grown roots, and these two are just like, nope, I don't want to be a nice queen. So they were actually cold when I received them because we had a dip in temperature at that time. So I believe this is what a delayed cold damage is, because the roots are starting to turn mush. So the stem is also kind of soft and the cataphyll is rotting. And besides leaves yellowing, this one I believe also has caught up some sort of bacterial infection, so we have a lot going on here. This queen right here is potted up in aerate mix and it's actually doing better than the other one. It still has some roots that haven't deteriorated yet and the stem is not mushy. The cataphyll has kind of crinkled up, so generally speaking, inside of a cataphyll there is another cataphyll, so I'm hoping that the other one is it's still okay, it's still intact. These leaves are yellowing. We're gonna cut this one because of the spots, which I will show you a close-up. This is the second one. This one is actually really pretty because it has like slightly more wider leaves and super small posterior lobes, which is interesting. I do prefer queens that have nice lobes, such as this one. She has a lot of potential and hopefully she won't die on me. As you can see, I have been postponing to take proper care of these for like 2 weeks, and I really gotta do it now because it's so hot and they need to be taken care of. So this one, top of the stem actually turns soft, but it's not like rot soft, but it's still soft. Note, she has like this long stem, so worst case scenario, we're gonna have a stem cutting. And when I moved her from aerate mix to moss, the roots didn't appreciate that, and a lot of them have actually rotted and they're starting to turn translucent. We're probably gonna have to cut a lot of roots, so I don't know what to expect. So I have a majority of tools with me. I have alcohol and hydrogen peroxide. So both of these are used as disinfectants. This for your razor tools, and hydrogen peroxide is really good if you want to disinfect your sphagnum moss, because as I mentioned, the roots have rotted and there have been some mold. So if you use the same sphagnum moss without cooking it, disinfecting it, the spores can actually transfer to your new pot and they can start germinating there, so you will get mold again. So this is something you want to take into account. And I also have some scissors, so we're gonna cut the rotting parts away, and some cotton pads so I can disinfect them. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we will be starting off with her. There are some roots, some are also mush, so we're just gonna take her out of the pot and see. Yummy! Anyways, there are some decent roots, so this is okay, but we have to remove majority of the soil just so I can see what's actually happening, and we're also gonna have to remove a lot of roots, as you can see. I'm not gonna necessarily remove the leaves just because even though they're yellowing, there is still some green and they're photosynthesizing, and we want the plant to have as much energy so it can bounce back fast. We're gonna cut this one because of the bacterial issues. So you can see these are the rotten roots. The outer part of the root has rotted and this is just the inside that has left. But the plant can't really do much. It can't absorb the water. So they are kind of pointless. Unless you only have this, I wouldn't cut it because they may help, like, only if it's a few percent, it's a few percent. Okay, so this is the original stem that the plant was grown from, and as you can see, it just rotted. This is normal. It seems like this is what we are dealing with. As you can see, this is a healthy root, and there are a few more white roots here and there. I will soak this plant and I will put her into sphagnum just because I feel like that's the most optimal. Oh, we have a new shoot forming here. Do you see that little numb? This is actually auxiliary, but it got activated, so... Oh, she's busy. And there's another one here. So this top probably did end up dying just because she has activated 2 of these. But that's okay, that's okay. The new shoots will be smaller, so I'm gonna go and soak her into the water. And in the meantime, we will check the other girl. Now it's time to check this one. This one is potted only in moss. And yeah. As I mentioned, she was in arid mix until recently. As you can see, this is all rotten. If it's started to turn like brownish and you see that, this is all rot, it has to go, and it's crunchy, yummy. The roots that are still green can be considered okay to some degree, but we are gonna be removing majority of that. Mush, mush, mush with more mush. She has a long stem, which I did mention, but the roots are really catastrophic on this one. So one thing you want to note, if you see a root that's semi-healthy but you just know it doesn't have a potential, I usually just cut those off because they tend to rot in my experience. So this is what we're left with. It ain't much, it really ain't much. There are some auxiliary buds along the stem. There is one. I think like there's still active cataphyll inside. Kind of thinking of putting her into water. Actually, haven't done that. At least not with Warocqueanums. With these little roots, like this is good. She doesn't have 0 roots, so this is something. But the problem with big leaves and small roots is that the plant will have trouble uptaking enough water to sustain these leaves, and this is usually white to yellow. This one is still nice green, so I have hope, but this one is definitely a goner. You could easily propagate it though. Like snap here, you have this bottom part with few auxiliary buds. But don't propagate plants that are already stressed because this bottom part may end up rotting and this top part will just suffer. So as you can see, I did end up putting them both in separate jars, and this is because if one were to rot suddenly, the stem, the roots, anything, it could potentially transfer to the other one and you could end up losing 2. So this is a good technique if you are rehabbing plants that are not their best. I did end up putting some Super Thrive in there. It should hopefully help them to bounce back faster. I will keep you guys posted on my Instagram, so be sure to follow me there. So if you did find this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time. Bye!